joining Mercury. So we're banking stack, banking specifically for startups. Just to be full transparent here, we are a financial technology company. We are not actually a bank. We have two partner banks that are members FDIC, and that is Choice and Evolve Bank and Trust. So you'll be using us from the user experience, everything in regards to setting up accounts, and credit cards, and transactions, but everything will be funneled through our partner banks as well. You guys can see my screen? Put a little thumbs up, perfect. All right, so let's just jump into this real quick. Really cool thing is the application process for Mercury is actually really quick, just about 10 minutes to apply for us. Our onboarding process and our application process sometimes can take a little bit of time. We like to make sure that we get all the legal documentation as well as understanding more about your business. So giving us all the information that you can about, your business, your product, your services that you're providing, and all the information in regards to that is really the best way for us to build trust and be your banking partner. So one thing to note, and pretty much the coolest thing about Mercury, is it's free. So you can get started with Mercury for free today. You can go in and just open an account right now. We provide free bank accounts, no minimum balances, free domestic wires, free USD international wires. We have a treasury and capital services as well. And then we do provide 1% fee on currency exchange if you like to leverage that through our services. But you can also leverage that through other third-party services. So we're going to dive into a bunch of different details on a lot of these things. But obviously, first and foremost, we want to show you guys the app. So this is our demo mercury.com, and you guys can actually access this. I'm going to throw this link in the chat. If you guys have access to this, everybody can pull this up and mess around. It's got a bunch of cool data that you can just like move in and out. You can actually do a lot of these action buttons in this demo account, so it's really cool. So when we first jump in, we're on the home page here, just a quick little health overview of your bank account with us, your balances, money in, money out, just a quick snapshot of your account. Really cool. We have a search bar up at the top right here. And this actually pops up in a lot of view modes in Mercury. So it makes it easy for I got to go to my transactions. Where's that at? Or I got to go to a specific page. You can type that in and it makes it easy to navigate through the app, especially if you're new to the app. Over here on the right is notification bar that pops up. And then one of the main action buttons, for your bank account is moving money. So paying somebody, adding or receiving funds. We have a brand new specific service here for requesting payments. So pretty much sending an invoice over to, let's say, a client that you're working with for them to pay you, as well as, obviously transferring money in between accounts. So I'm just going to keep going down here on the left-hand side, go to transactions. I really love this transaction page because you can get really granular with what you're looking for when you want to just view all of your transactions for your business. Here, adding filters, you can pretty much filter and sort off of anything. Keywords, date, methods, accounts, cards, makes it really easy for you to find exactly what you're looking for. A lot of people that have banked with all of these different banks around the world, you can tell that sometimes the user experience is not as slick and easy to use as this user interface. That's what we pride ourselves on as a product-led growth company. And it was really cool is after this filter, you can go ahead and export out these transactions and leverage that where you see fit. Right under transaction is the payments. So whenever you're giving payments, receiving payments, outgoing, incoming, you want to search off of recipients, you can go ahead and come into here and see specific payments as well. So coming in, checking out the specific payments that needs approval, things that are scheduled. What's really cool about the payments is you can set up specific rules. So being able to say, hey, at the start of the month, I need to send over X amount to this account or to this account or to this client. That's one really cool thing about Mercury is being able to be a little bit more automatic in making automation a part of your company. So you don't have to do a lot of manual tasks. So a really cool thing to keep in mind that we're a little bit in front of the times from other banks as well. One of the most important things is, you're a bank and you guys want to spend money. So you're going to have a debit card. We actually just released credit cards as well. Here with Mercury, you can actually have both virtual and physical cards, and you can issue these cards to your team members through this view mode very easily. Really cool. You come in, click, I want to send a new card. What do you want to do? You want to do a credit card? You want to do a debit card? Who do we send it to? What's their daily spending limit? Customize the nickname to keep it easy to search. Bunch of cool stuff to just do this again, all within the application. And then you can go into each card. Let's say I'm Jane and I want to go check out my debit card and I need to use it. This is actually a really cool, slick way to just copy and paste, the credit card details, billing address. Maybe you want to, again, edit the limit. Maybe you want to freeze this card. Maybe you want to see transactions specifically for this card. So a really cool way of looking at all the card data for your teammates. Now, again, if you get approved for a business credit card through Mercury, you'll get access to this tab. And this is just, again, seeing the health of your credit with us, leveraging the credit card. So again, you can, go through the different transactions and do different actions specifically for your credit card here on the credit tab. So 2 services that I alluded to a little bit earlier, we have treasury services as well as capital services. So treasury, you can actually learn a little bit more about our treasury on our website. If you go to the product and treasury tab, again, cash management and putting money into market funds specifically for your business. If you look to leverage this for your business, again, a lot of our high growth startups see a lot of value in our treasury services. The same thing with capital. So whenever I go down here to the capital side, again, if you're looking for any type of funding for your startup, we have options specifically within Mercury. We provide venture debt as one of our main options for Mercury users, but then we also do have other options that we outsource through our partners. For instance, a daily payout with payability, revenue-based finance, maybe for an e-commerce company, Wayflyer. So whenever you get in here into the capital tab, you can see all the data on these different capital options that we provide, as well as going over to the partner side for more information. A couple things on the capital side too that we provide is we do have a Mercury Raise program. So we have a handful of raise programs that we provide. Your first check, your seed, your Series A. You can apply and see when these applications are open. We do this on a yearly basis, a bunch of different programs as well. So we don't want to just provide bank accounts and credit cards and debit cards and just your normal banking stack. We want to make sure that we're here to grow with your company as well. So helping from a capital standpoint, again, helping from a treasury standpoint. So we have a bunch of different options. And one really cool thing to shout out is we do have an investor database as well. So when you're on the Mercury website and you go to community and investor database, you can actually see this full listed database of investors that can help out all of our Mercury users and the different industries, different types of companies that they work with. And we provide their data right then and there, free to everybody. So a couple cool things to shout out that are a little bit outside of, your typical bank account, credit card services. All right, so back into the app, I'm going to go to this accounts tab. And again, this is where you set up your banking accounts. So checking accounts and saving accounts. You can set up these accounts here by adding checking account or other savings accounts. What's really cool, again, if you want to get really kind of in the weeds of automating your processes and making things a little bit easier and less manual, we have this concept of creating rules for your accounts. So I can come in here and it looks like a lot, but it's all of these different things that I can do to manipulate data and send money in and out automatically. So we don't have to have anybody manually doing that. So really cool thing. One thing that I see a lot with users is if a certain account, goes past a specific amount, I want to make sure to automatically transfer, money from my, let's say, main checking account or main savings account into that checking account. So a lot of really cool auto transfer rules that you get access to as a Mercury user. Really, some of the last things with the Mercury app in this demo specifically, just your normal stuff of downloading bank statements, specific data, right? Downloading that into a PDF and being able to leverage those statements for, your typical business operations. Three really big important things to hit on is inviting your team members to utilize your bank account. So this is where you invite your team member. I come up here to the team and I say, invite a team member, put their information on. I can actually select like different roles that this person has. So, maybe they're my bookkeeper. Maybe I want them to give them access, but I just want to give them access to like a credit card or their debit card, or I can get really custom with the team member. You can actually come in and decline certain team members or approve them. You can actually, disable specific team members. Maybe they're not on your team anymore. So a lot of things you can do within the app. A couple last things is with Legal Trunk, we have a specific deal where if you sign up through Legal Trunk's specific landing page, and I'll make sure to add that here in the chat, we provide a $500 payout if you end up leveraging, I believe it is $10,000 paid on your debit or credit card within 90 days of account approval. We'll give you $500 in cash. So just another cool little perk and incentive to get signed up with Mercury and to start using your cards with us. So that's one cool thing. But going off of that is, if you have friends, that run other businesses or family members that run other businesses, we'd love to, have them as a user for Mercury. So we actually pay for referrals as well. So you could get up to $250 in cash for the referrals you send our way that are also swiping that debit or credit card. So a cool little incentive to invite your friends. We love referrals here at Mercury. Really the last thing to hit on, and we get really excited about this on the partnerships team, is our perks program. So our perks program is, I think we're actually above this number, but you could get up to $250,000 in savings off of all of these partners and softwares and services that you can leverage as a Mercury user. So as you can see here, tons of different categories. Maybe you need some accounting software. Maybe you need to come in and leverage our QuickBooks Online perk. Same thing with e-commerce. Maybe you're an e-commerce seller and you need help with shipping, so you're going to leverage ShipStation. You can come in, click on these cards, see the perk, see how to get signed up, everything for you. And we've got, I think we're almost about to hit 100 perks, and we're going to be doing a lot of cool things with this perks program. So a lot of savings for you as a Mercury user. For any types of software and services that you need to build your startup, to build your own software stack. All right. So the last thing that I wanted to hit on specifically was how to get signed up and apply for Mercury. Check the chat real quick. The one thing that we want to make sure to be very transparent is how to get approved with us, and like how to onboard with us. What do we need? This is kind of one thing that we've pride ourselves on, and making it a relatively easy process compared to a lot of other banks. Most banks, you would have to fly over to the US. You'd have to bring your book of business. You got to get all dressed up and go to the inside of a bank, branch and present everything to them. Well, for us, you can do everything online. You just need to make sure that you have specific documentation and company details to provide during the onboarding process. I'm in our help center, help.mercury.com. This makes it, we're pretty transparent with what we need. Specifically, three things on the onboarding process: your company formation documentation, your IRS issued EIN, and a US government ID or international passport. There are a couple other things in the onboarding process that we asked, such as like a photo verification. We want to learn more about your business as well. So give us all the information about you and your business and what you guys are doing. And then we have a full onboarding staff that's able to, review your documentation and make sure everything's good to go, and then approve you to be a Mercury user. So I'd highly suggest checking that out on the help.mercury.com. That's about it. I don't want to take too much time on the demo. I want to open this up to Q&A, which you can go ahead and go to the Q&A section and ask any questions that you have. Alex, is there anything that you wanted to hit on before we jump into the questions?
No, I think the first question in there, maybe it's just good to give a little more color on, the types of businesses we can support, specifically with international founders. So the question is, do you have to have a business in the US before opening this account? And the answer is yes. We do need the business to be incorporated in the US and to have that US EIN. The difference between us and some of the other banks as far as supporting international founders is we can support remote onboarding for an international founder that has a US-based business. So as long as it's the US EIN, there's operations or plans to operate in the US in some capacity. We don't need a social security number. We can approve with a international passport. It can all be done remote. And this is very much tied to Mercury's identity. Our founder is Pakistani born himself, and when he created Mercury, he didn't want that version of him to not be able to use Mercury. So it's very culturally ingrained for us to be supportive of international founders, but the requirements are US EIN, and then we'll just need formation docs, a little bit of info about the business. And as Austin mentioned, it's all very structured in the onboarding, takes just about 10 minutes.